In this video, we're going to migrate inventory from one location to another location. So for example, maybe you've got multiple locations and you're closing one down. So you need to move that inventory from the location that's being closed to another inventory. And we're going to do that via the inventory reconciliation process. I'm not going to show you the whole inventory reconciliation process. I'm going to assume you've watched that in another video. This is just going to show you how to move that inventory from one location to another via an inventory reconciliation. So Command 2, inventory reconciliations, and I'm going to do new inventory reconciliation. I'm going to move this inventory from my Castleton location. Put my initials in here. And then I'll just put a note, moving inventory from E to main. So I'm going to move the entire inventory from my E location, east, to main. To do that, I'm going to load missing. And then I'm going to select, because I want to do everything, I'm going to select all records. So it's going to load everything that should be in inventory at east, and I'm going to migrate that over to main. Now, I'm assuming that you've gone through the process of looking up any open sales orders, any outstanding POs, any outstanding receiving transfers, and so forth, and take care of that before you start this process. We're not going to go over that here. This is just strictly showing you how to move one from a location to another via an inventory reconciliation. Okay, this lists everything that we were missing. Now, we are missing everything because we didn't load anything on our reconciliation, so we're missing everything. So I'm going to load missing and load. I'm going to calculate discrepancies here. So this is what it's saying we should have had on hand in our east location, and I'm fine with that. So at this point, I'm going to export out, functions, export, and this is going to be my E on hand, and I'm going to do that to my desktop. Now I'm in a test database. I have no idea what's been done with this database. So we could have some irregularities, but this is the process. Okay, once I've exported that out, I have all that right here. Now I'm going to close this. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go manipulate that export. Now it's important to go to Excel and open. If for any reason you have any part codes that start with a leading 0, they will not be recognized as the correct part code if you don't follow this process. So I'm going to select my export, and I'm going to say next and next until I get to column data format. I want that to be text, and that will help us account for any part codes that have a leading 0 as the first part code. All right, so this brought up everything. Now I don't need these top lines. I just need to save part number, product, and so forth. So I can get rid of these. Now we're going to import this into a new inventory reconciliation. And when you import, it really is only considered or concerned with these first 3 columns. And it's going to import whatever I have count here as the count on your reconciliation sheet. And so our count really is what we exported out on hand. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this column. It's going to move my on hand over into here, and we really don't even need these other columns. Right? And you can relabel this count if you want to. So we got the part code, product name, and count. That's the only 3 columns. Now you have to have these 3 columns though in this order, or it will not work. So we're going to save that. Now we're going to go create a new inventory reconciliation for the location we're moving these products to. I'm going to move it to my main location now. Okay, now I'm going to import. Select that same file. And now you notice it now brought over those counts. Now if we hit calculate discrepancies, it should be fairly close to what we had Again, this is a dummy database, so I don't know what people have done with it, but I believe it'll be close. And so this is what we're now migrating from our east location to our main location. Notice I've got main here. So let me save this and let's go review the two. List all reconciliations. And so here we've got our east. This is the first one we took. And we got $54,000 in our east inventory. And we're going to migrate that over to our main inventory and $54,000. So it matches up. So now what we do is to zero out what we had in our first inventory, our east inventory. We just let me go into functions, clear on hands. Yes. And we want to zero out all record because we're moving everything from our east inventory to our main inventory. Clear on hands. Now we notice we have 0 on hand for everything in our east inventory. I'm going to save that. So now we're going to update our main inventory. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. Now, I'm assuming that I'm moving from one location, I had everything in it, to a new location that I have nothing in it. And so there's nothing in my main inventory. I'm making that assumption. And so I'm just going to move those items over. If, for example, you had items in the location already that you're moving to, then you need to follow another procedure, and that is how to combine inventories into one inventory, and there's another video for that. Again, this procedure is assuming that I'm moving from one location to a new location which has nothing in it. If you do have items in that second location we're moving to, you got to follow the procedure for combining inventory in another video. So I pull up this one and I go function, and I'm going to clear on hands, continue, and yes. And again, because this is a brand new inventory, there's nothing in it. I'm just going to do just those listed because it doesn't matter at this point. All right. So we zeroed out the inventory. Now we need to update the inventory. So go back to functions, update on hands, continue. Yes, update on hands. Now it's updating on those on hands with the counts that we imported in. All right, and again, now our account should be at 54,000. So just to show you that we now have inventory in our main location, I'm going to save this. And you don't have to do this, just to show you that it did work. We're going to create a new reconciliation for main, the location we just migrated to. And I'm going to load missing. Again, remember there was nothing in this before. So I'm just going to look for something. I'm going to look for category code of RAM. Search. And there we go. We have those items. I'm going to load missing. And now we do have items in our inventory, and it even shows up here. So that's how you transfer from one location to another inventory items via inventory reconciliation.